Hey everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com, and this is episode 25 of the Humble Mechanic Podcast. 25, that's really awesome. I know I was excited about 24, but I'm excited about 25. I'll be equally as excited about 26, and, maybe to 1,000, or who knows, 1.5 million. You never know. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about manufacturer's warranties. We're going to talk about the bumper-to-bumper, we're going to talk about the emissions, we're going to talk about powertrain, we're going to talk about all that stuff. Now, I'm a VW guy, but most of these things are actually really common to all the brands. Manufacturers sort of have this established way and process that they do things. So this is pretty universal, even though, as you can see, this is a Volkswagen logo right here. I'm a VW guy, but nonetheless, this pretty much covers most of the automotive industry. So let's start with the base warranty. This is the warranty that most commonly is referred to as the bumper-to-bumper warranty. Depending on what kind of vehicle you drive, it could be 3 years or 36,000 miles, 4 years, 50,000 miles, on up. I don't know. I don't follow all the manufacturers on what their warranty is, so check your owner's book because that's the best place to get it. Also, cars.com has a full list of what everybody's warranty is. So I think the most common one is probably 3 years or 36,000 miles. And this is the one that people think covers everything. No matter what goes wrong with my car, my 3-year 36 bumper-to-bumper base warranty, whatever you want to call it, is going to take care of it. The truth is that it doesn't cover everything. There are a lot of things that it won't cover, like wiper blades, like tires. Tires are actually under a different warranty from the tire manufacturer, depending on the failure. If you run over a nail, it's not covered under warranty. Brakes aren't covered under warranty. Wiper blades aren't covered under warranty. Now, there are manufacturers that have carefree maintenance programs, like BMW. I know they used to. I assume they still do. Audi used to. I assume they still do, where worn brake pads and wiper blades would be covered, but that's a little bit different thing. That's actually carefree maintenance, not necessarily warranty. I know we're sort of splitting hairs with it, but basically if you think of something that's a consumable, so wiper blades is a great example. Your wiper blades are going to wear out. It doesn't matter what kind of car you drive, unless you're my buddy Jack in his Ferrari when he just doesn't drive it in the rain, because he's one of those smug Ferrari guys that doesn't drive his car in the rain. I only say that because my Cabby is pretty much the same way, that I just don't drive it in the rain. But mine doesn't have a top, so Jack, I'm not sure what your excuse is, but I gotta be honest, if I had a Ferrari, I probably wouldn't drive it in the rain either. But let me not get too far off topic, giving my buddy Jack a hard time about it. This warranty is built to cover defects in manufactured parts. It could cover poor design. A lot of times the poor design turns into the defect. I did a video on the 2-liter turbo water pump, Volkswagen TSI engines a while back. And, a weird or a poor, I can't really say it's a poor design. I'm not an engineer, so I don't want to say it's a poor design, but there is a significant failure rate on it. So that leads me to believe that there is something a little weird with it. So anyway, the defect shows itself. It could be a poor design, but the defect is sort of where we see it. And that can come in the form of, a coolant leak, or a high failing part that causes a check engine light, or a high failing part that causes, a noise while you drive. The spectrum's all over the place with failures. I mean, cars break. We all know that. So it could cover that. One really good example beyond the water pump one I like to give is it's not really a poor design, it's just kind of an odd design. So in the back of most Volkswagens, there's 2 vents. So airflow comes underneath the center console and up and out vents for the rear compartment. Well, it just so happens that it's in the perfect spot that if you put a kid in a car seat, the kid kicks it and it breaks the vents. Now, it's not really a defect of the part, it's a weird design. And a lot of times manufacturers will cover that anyway. I know I've put tons and tons and tons of those vents in on Jettas and Jetta Sport wagons over the years. So, it's just kind of an odd design. Check engine lights, noises, like I said, all this stuff. Basically the things that aren't covered, this is the easiest way to remember it. Things that wear out, So wiper blades, tires, brakes. Batteries are actually one that might be covered and might not be covered. You really want to make sure that you're asking the questions when you're buying a vehicle, especially a new vehicle. Are these parts covered? Are batteries covered? Are tires covered, through another warranty? Does Michelin cover Michelin tires? How do I execute that warranty? It also doesn't cover things that are due to outside influence. So while a leak of the windshield might be covered, if you're driving and a rock pops up and puts a crack in the windshield, it's not covered. That's outside influence. That might be covered with your insurance. Someone keys your car, it's not covered. Oh gosh, what else have we seen? Yeah, a flat tire, if you run over a nail, like I said, I think before, it's not covered. And those are all actually concerns that we've had where a customer comes in, their vehicle is under warranty, they say, hey, I got a crack in my windshield. Well, I'm sorry, that's not covered. Go through your insurance or whatever. You basically have to think of a failing part not due to any outside influence. And again, the design thing gets kind of gray. A lot of times, good dealerships will take care of that for you, whether it's, technically a failed part or a bad design or what. So, the end result is really an unhappy customer. And I know most of my fellow automotive folk, we want to avoid that at all possible. So when it comes to things that are under base warranty, just think of failed parts that aren't consumable. Moving on to powertrain, which a lot of manufacturers have a different powertrain warranty from the base warranty. And Hyundai is a great example. They have like 100,000 mile warranty that lasts a million years or whatever. Don't quote me on the million years because it's probably not. But traditionally what powertrain means is engine components, internal especially engine components. Some may cover oil leaks, some might not. Internal transmission components, some may cover oil leaks, some may not. And driveline components. This will be your axles. It might cover CV joints. Usually powertrain is a little bit stricter on what is covered and what isn't covered than a base warranty would be. So for example, a base warranty would cover a CV boot, let's say. I'm not saying that it does. I'm saying for this example, let's say it does. A base warranty does cover a CV boot. Now the powertrain warranty might cover the CV joint, the actual mechanical part, but it may not cover the boot that encases the joint. And a lot of manufacturers do consider CV boots to be a maintenance item or a wear and tear item, so they don't cover it. So think of powertrain as like the big, really expensive mechanical components inside the engine, inside the transmission, perhaps inside a differential or a transfer case. We don't see anymore so many powertrain warranties. When the B5.5 Passats were out, we would see a lot of oil leaks and cover that under powertrain. But now mostly we get everything straightened out and it's under base warranty or some kind of warranty extension. That's a whole other topic for another show. But just again, think of powertrain, engine, transmission, and driveline, whether it's a front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, or four wheel drive. There's also now an emissions warranty. This is one that gets really, really kind of all over the place depending on where the car was purchased and what state I think it's registered in. So emission warranty do vary from state to state. States like California and Massachusetts have a different emissions warranty than, say, Texas or Florida, for example. So when it comes to this one, you really need to make sure that you're in contact with the manufacturer. I wouldn't go solely on the owner's book, just in case a car was meant to, purchased in California and sold in Nevada, and the owner's book got switched around. So if you run into an issue with something like a catalytic converter, an ECM, an engine computer, or there's like 3 other quirky things that could be covered potentially, make sure you're in contact with the manufacturer before you make any repairs, so that you may be at 100,000 miles, but your car could be a California emissions car, and that catalytic converter might be covered. Whereas if it's a non-California emissions car, it's only 8 years, 80,000 miles. But I think the baseline warranty for federal emissions is 8 years, 80,000 miles. But again, be in contact with the manufacturer, have them run your VIN and see. federal emissions doesn't come up all the time. It's probably the least common warranty we execute through Volkswagen. It used to be a little bit higher when we were doing a lot of catalytic converters, and we see them from time to time, but not nearly in the numbers that we've seen in the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s. So again, ECM catalytic converter, very state dependent, so make sure you're in contact with the manufacturer and to get the right information. There's also another one that a lot of manufacturers offer, and that's a corrosion warranty, where if your vehicle rusts, they'll take care of it. I'll be honest, in 11 years I've never seen one, not one covered. There may have been one that I forgot about, but generally when there's any type of corrosion issue, it's due to outside influence like we talked about under base warranties. So just be aware your car may have a corrosion warranty. It may not, I don't know. Cars.com, like I said, I'll try and put a link to that in the show notes to where you can look and see what warranty your manufacturer offers on corrosion, on emissions, on powertrain, and on the regular base warranty. So now the question, this is actually the whole reason this show came up. Someone asked me, they said their car's about to be out of warranty, they want to take it to the dealership, and they want to make sure that the dealership fixes everything that's wrong with it before it's out of warranty. And that's not really how it works. So when you have a concern, let's say your check engine light's on, you bring it to the dealership because your car's under warranty. The dealership fixes your car. Now, let's say you have 35,000 miles, your car runs out at 36. You're expecting that they're going to go through your entire car and find every problem that is wrong or might be wrong in the future, and they don't. They fix your check engine light and send you out the door. Well, minus looking at safety items, which we'll talk about in a minute, the technician did what he was supposed to. As dealership technicians, we really have to focus when cars are under warranty on the concern the customer brought the car in for. So if you brought it in for a check engine light and I test drive it and I hear like a tiny buzz from over here, maybe in the center console or behind the radio, I'm not supposed to say anything about it. And you may not have heard it anyway. I mean, I can't tell you guys how many times I've driven with customers for a noise, and they're talking about a noise in the, like front left, and I'm hearing stuff here, I'm hearing stuff behind me, I'm hearing stuff in the console. There's noise everywhere in the car, but they're only concerned about one. So that's one reason why we don't open a can of worms on especially on rattles. But manufacturers track everything when it comes to warranty repairs. They look at the repair order. So let's say you brought your car in for a check engine light. We fix the check engine light. Now all of a sudden there's under warranty lines, there's customer has a bad tie rod, customer has an exhaust leak, customer has an oil leak, customer has a vibration, customer has this, customer has this. The manufacturer sort of red flags that and goes, well, the customer didn't come in for this initially. Now all of a sudden they have all these other problems. The technician did all these other repairs, got paid a ton of money. Do we believe that this was an actual repair, or do we believe the technician was just, sort of fluffing his time and trying to do all these repairs under warranty? And it was actually a really big issue on the 1.8 turbos where guys would sell under warranty a valve cover cam adjuster gasket. And, you can convince me that it might have been the right thing to do for the customer. That's, again, a separate show topic. But, a 1.8 turbo would have an oil leak done every 15,000 miles. And while that's a really common oil leak, and I've done a few on my Passat, if the repair is done right, it's not an every 15,000 mile repair. So traditionally, the way Volkswagen works is if we add something on, it has to be a safety related item, or it has to be something that can cost a lot more money or leave a customer stranded in the future. So if I roll the window up and hear it, as it comes up, hear it scraping while it's operating, I'm going to probably say something because that's going to either result in the window being stuck down, the car getting flooded. Now we have a huge repair bill, or let's say the glass breaks. Now we have not only a bigger repair bill than we would have, we still have the original issue, and we got a ton of glass to clean up, and we got a really ticked off customer. So for the most part, if it's a safety item, or if it's a repair that's going to cost more in the long run, we say something and we take care of it. But the idea that you can just bring your car in and say, hey, fix everything that's going to be covered under warranty, most of the time that doesn't work out. That it may vary from manufacturer to manufacturer, but I know I had a buddy with an Audi that the brake pads were covered under the free maintenance, and they had to be a specific millimeter before they could be replaced. And the reason they had to be was because when the technician replaced it, they sent it back to Audi. So a lot of times when we make warranty repairs, we take the part, we box it up, and we send it back. And that is sent to, I forget what the name of the center is that they send it to, but it's sent and it's examined and they do analysis on it. The warranty test center, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So we send it to the warranty test center. The warranty test center, as you might guess from the name, tests this part. And if they test the part and deem that there was nothing wrong with it, the dealership actually does get charged that money. So the technician has to give the money back. The service advisor has to give the money back. The service manager has to give the money back. And the dealership, the profit the dealership makes, all that gets taken and pulled back. So we only really want to make repairs on legitimate warranty parts and things that are actually failed. So that's why when you take your car in and say, hey, fix everything, they probably won't do it. They'll look for stuff and they'll look for safety things because that's our job. Our job is to make sure you're safe in your car, but we can't find every little thing. And so the good advice is if you have issues that you're concerned about, write them down and they'll go from there. So again, things that aren't proven to be failures, the dealership may be responsible for paying for. So where do we find all this information? I just downloaded a ton of stuff at you guys. Where do we find all this? Well, the best space for a customer to find it is in your owner's book. That little magic book that's in the glove box. There's a lot of information in there, and I've been preaching for years and years for people to just open it up and take a look. A lot of times the warranty pamphlet will actually be separate from the how-to on the vehicle, but it's probably in there with almost all the information that you're going to need. If you have a specific question, call the dealer, but don't ask for the service department necessarily. Talk to the warranty administrator. The warranty administrator generally knows the manufacturer's warranty inside and out, upside down, and if they don't, they probably have at a tab on their computer where they can pull it up and answer your question for you. Whereas if you asked me if something was covered, I would say probably, but let me go check. They have that information right on their desktop to check and make sure that they're giving you the right information. So ask for the warranty administrator. Don't talk to service advisors. Don't talk to the parts department. Go right to the administrator if you can get to them and talk to them about what is and what isn't covered. So I know my warranty administrator is incredible. She's so good at her job, it's ridiculous, and a lot of times I'll ask her, hey, is this covered under warranty? And she'll fire it off, yes, no, or it's got a warranty extension, or there's a recall or whatever. So she's razor sharp, and I really appreciate all her hard work, and she does a lot for customers too, which is ultra cool. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much how a base warranty, powertrain, federal emissions, and corrosion warranties work. There are other kinds of warranties: tire warranties, key warranties, extended warranties, certified warranties, on and on and on. Those are all for a different show. If you have any questions, like always, feel free to post them in the comments below. I always appreciate that, whether it's on YouTube, on the blog, or on Facebook. I try and keep track of all that stuff. Sometimes I miss it, so if I don't reply to it, ask it again in like 2 days, because it may have just gotten lost in the spam monster or whatever. If you like the video, throw it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with any of your automotive type friends. That's always awesome. I really appreciate that. Don't forget, I got a blog too. I'm doing all these YouTube videos, and I still got the website. There's a ton of great information. I actually wrote a post about extended warranties and what you need to know about it. I'll try and throw a link to that in the show notes as well. I'm tailing all these links I need to put in into the show notes. Anyway, check out the blog, humblemechanic.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you're not watching it on YouTube because you would already know, you can follow me on YouTube. Subscribe there. Anyway, guys, again, if you like the show, throw it a thumbs up. Subscribe on YouTube. I appreciate all that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you